United States Congressman Riley Moore, representing West Virginia, recently made a bold and powerful statement that has grabbed the attention of the international community. In a recent post on his X account, Moore issued a strong warning to the Nigerian government, asserting that the United States would hold them accountable if anything were to happen to Rev Ezekiel Dachomo, a Plateau State-based pastor who has been openly criticizing the government for its failure to address the ongoing violence against Christians in Nigeria. This is not just a simple statement. It's an international stance that puts the Nigerian government under the spotlight for its treatment of religious leaders and activists who dare to speak out. Rev Ezekiel Dachomo has been vocal in documenting and exposing the mass killings and Christian genocide that have plagued Nigeria, particularly in Plateau State. As the regional chairman of the Church of Christ in Nations, Kokin, in Barkin-Ladi local government area, he's one of the leaders fighting for justice for the persecuted Christians in the region. Dachomo's efforts to expose the atrocities committed by Fulani militants and other armed groups have made him a target. He's not just a man of faith, he's a man speaking truth to power, something that doesn't always go well with the authorities. The pastor recently revealed that he had been receiving threatening calls and warnings from loyalists of President Bola Tinubu, urging him to stop posting videos exposing the killings and the mass burials of Christians. In a video posted on his Facebook page on November 21st, 2025, Rev Dachomo shared the frightening messages he had received. He stated that these threats were coming from supporters of the current Nigerian president, who allegedly viewed his public outcry against the government as an act of defiance. According to the pastor, the pressure to stop speaking out became overwhelming when a high-ranking official from the Nigerian government personally approached him, expressing concerns about his social media content. In his video, Dachomo asked a crucial question: how can I expose my government if they continue to ignore us and allow the killings to happen? He went on to call attention to the government's silence in the face of these atrocities, accusing them of putting Christians in greater danger by failing to take any real action to stop the violence. Instead of receiving support for his bravery, Dachomo found himself increasingly isolated, his platforms taken down one after the other. His Facebook account was deleted, and within 24 hours of creating a new Instagram page, it was shut down as well. The situation escalated when Facebook Meta, the parent company of Instagram, cited national security concerns for blocking his content. This decision by social media giants only added to the growing fears that Rev Dachomo was being silenced not just by local authorities but also by international corporations with strong ties to the Nigerian government. It's a frightening thought. Speaking out for justice and having your voice muted at every turn. In his video, Dachomo made a bold statement that his actions weren't for personal gain, but for the protection and future of his fellow Christians who were being targeted by terrorists with no one willing to step in and defend them. Enter Congressman Riley Moore, who took to social media to voice his concerns over the situation. Moore made it very clear that the United States would hold the Nigerian government responsible if anything were to happen to Rev Dachomo. His statement was nothing short of a warning shot, emphasizing that the U.S. would not sit idly by if Dachomo was harmed in any way. Moore's message sent shockwaves through both Nigerian and international circles. It wasn't just a political statement. It was a call for accountability. It drew attention to how the Nigerian government had, in the past, been quick to dismiss the warnings of local activists, labeling them as exaggerated or fabricated. Rev Dachomo's case is not isolated. Many religious leaders, activists, and ordinary citizens across Nigeria have been calling attention to the ongoing violence and persecution faced by Christians, but their voices are often ignored or silenced. In a tragic example just weeks before Moore's statement, Rev Dachomo had warned the Nigerian government of an imminent attack in his region, asking for help. When the government failed to respond, 13 innocent lives were lost the following day. Yet, rather than acknowledging the failure to protect its citizens, The Nigerian government issued a statement dismissing Dachomo's warnings as fake news and hyperbole. This disregard for human life and the failure to act when citizens are in danger only deepens the distrust between the government and the people. It raises serious questions about the priorities of the government in power and how much they truly value the safety of their citizens. How can anyone feel secure when the very institution designed to protect them is unwilling to take action or even acknowledge the threats they face? Congressman Moore's statement brought the situation into sharper focus, bringing international pressure on the Nigerian government. By aligning himself with the Reverend Dachomo and showing support for the pastor's cause, Moore highlighted the broader issue of religious persecution in Nigeria. It wasn't just about one pastor's struggle, it was about the ongoing crisis of religious violence that is affecting millions of people. The message was loud and clear. The US government would not tolerate any harm coming to a man who was only trying to bring the truth to light. In his post, Moore reflected on the broader implications of the Nigerian government's failure to respond to the cries for help from its citizens. He referenced a specific incident where a pastor in Plateau State had urgently called for help, warning that an attack was imminent. Despite the warning, the Nigerian government did nothing. Instead, it issued a press release calling the pastor's warning false. Yet the next day, lives were lost in a brutal attack. Moore used this example to emphasize how the government's failure to act had direct consequences. The message was simple. How can the people trust the government when it continually fails to act in their time of need? The US congressman's intervention is a crucial reminder that international attention can play a significant role in bringing about change. With Nigeria being one of the most populous countries in Africa and a key player on the world stage, the international community's involvement in the fight against religious persecution in the country could be a game changer. The pressure from global powers could push the Nigerian government to take more serious actions in addressing the violence and protecting its citizens. As the situation continues to unfold, it's important to remember the underlying issues that have been driving these events. Reverend Dachomo's case isn't just about one man or one region. It's about a larger issue of systemic violence, government neglect, and the silencing of truth. In countries where freedom of speech and religion are under threat, the role of international bodies, governments, and the media becomes even more critical. It is vital that we continue to raise awareness about these issues, support those speaking out for justice, and push for accountability from governments that refuse to take responsibility for the safety of their citizens. If Reverend Dachomo's voice is silenced, it will not only be a loss for him, but a loss for all those who are suffering in silence, hoping that someone will take a stand on their behalf. It is in moments like this that the strength of the global community is tested. Will we stand by and allow the voices of truth to be muffled? Or will we step up to support those who are risking everything to make the world a better place? Remember, this isn't just a story of one pastor fighting for justice in Nigeria. It's a story of global solidarity and the fight for the protection of basic human rights. We all have a role to play in ensuring that these stories are heard, that justice is served, and that the voices of the oppressed are not silenced. So, what can we do? For starters, we can continue to raise awareness, share this story with your friends and family, use your voice to amplify the message. By coming together, we can help ensure that the truth is heard, that Reverend Dachomo and others like him are protected, and that the Nigerian government is held accountable for its inaction. If you found this video informative, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with others. Let's keep the conversation going and continue pushing for change. We can't afford to stay silent in the face of injustice.